This one, this one.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad.
Hi everybody. Welcome to another edition of NCW, also known as New Comic Wednesday. If you haven't been with us before, we chat for a few minutes every Wednesday about Zenescope's newest releases. If you don't know who I am your NCW host, Amber, and I feel like this is a dig about the Jaguars, so I'm just going to ignore this really fast. But everybody, check out my cactus. One more time. Should we do this one more time? We'll do a short version of it.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. Okay, that's all I got. This is my cactus. I haven't named him yet, so if you guys have names for my cactus, let me know. My mommy bought me this cactus, and it's perfect because my condo is both Southwest cactus theme as well as it's Christmassy. My cactus is a little Christmas hat as well. So yeah, back to NCW. Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas this weekend. Happy Hanukkah right now. So much going on. It is 11:30 a.m. This is an extremely early NCW, so I might not have my regular NCWs in attendance right now, but if you guys want to come up with a name for my cactus, I'm like pretty open to it because I haven't named him yet. So I don't know what to name him. He has very fun Moroccos though. Prickly Pete. I'm open to names, so drop the names in the comments and we'll go from there. But again, like I said, today we are talking about two releases, and I have on our very own Pat Chan, who I'll bring on in just a moment. First, I'll talk about our first release written by our own David Wall. Oh, I completely skipped my intro. Where can you get Zenescope books, you ask? Let me go. So you can get them at your local comic shop. You can head to our website right now, Zenescope.com, and check out new releases, and they'll be on there. And you can always get them on Comixology. Also, so you make sure that you never miss an NCW and a VCon, which is happening in literally an hour and a half, which is why NCW is so early. Wow, if we had put the cactus in the right spot, he could have been saying it in his own words. But make sure that you subscribe, you press that notification bell, and also make sure that you like, react, you share this on social media, etc., so everybody can find out about Zenescope's newest releases. Robert, I just heard your comment saying this is Joe. That's hilarious. Moving forward, so today's first release, Oz, Return of the Wicked Witch, number 2. This is number 2 of 3. I'm hoping I'll get David Wall on. I forgot to ask him on for this, but, you know, to be fair, he is on California time, so I'm sure at 8:30 a.m. He has other stuff going on. It is $5.99 in our web store. There are 4 incredible covers. And like I said, Oz is a very, very dark story. And that's what I love about reading Oz stories, is that I always walk away feeling like, ooh, that's creepy. Like everybody knows one of my favorite releases of the last couple of years was Patchwork Girl, which was a very, very creepy story because of the way that she killed people, and the way that they portrayed that in the book felt very, like, for lack of a better word, suffocating. So the Patchwork Girl, dive into her backstory a little bit. And if you guys want to learn a little bit more, you can always watch a very, very early NCW where I talk about the book, how incredible it is. But the Patchwork Girl, essentially, she created like stuffed animals like Cactus here, aka Joe, aka Prickly Pedro or Prickly Pete. And they would essentially feel like they're getting suffocated because she would stuff them. And that just sounds terrifying, right? Like, I don't know what it is, but Oz stories, and even then when we dove into a little bit of, you know, grim fairy tales, when we were hopping around universes and we went to that very, very dark universe of Oz, that's very creepy, very, and so I feel like Oz always has this incredibly dark storyline, which is very interesting because I brought this up on a last NCW weeks ago about how, you know, there was, a lot of suspense, a lot of weird stuff going around when they film the actual Oz movies. And, you know, The Wizard of Oz has always been kind of considered a dark movie, even though it's supposed to be like a lightning bright movie from going black and white to color. And so I like that we kind of continue on this very, very dark path for Oz. So Return of the Wicked Witch #2, very creepy. Casey, if you want to flash up those 4 beautiful covers, I will dive in and talk about the synopsis a little bit. Mumby, the Wicked Witch of the North, has returned and she is intent on building a new kingdom to rule, no matter what the cost. Now, while Glinda is far away trying to discover Moby's secret, Dorothy, along with Scarecrow, Thorn, and Toto, are the only ones standing in the way of the witch and her unliving army. And their defeat will result in the complete destruction of Oz. 40 pages. There are 4 incredible covers. Look at that cover D. Damn, such a good cover. As always, drop in the comments what is your favorite cover. And the only way you'll know anything that's going on in the story is if you read Return of the Wicked Witch #1, which came out a couple weeks ago. So make sure that you check that out so you can get the ongoing story. And then #3 will drop sometime in early 2023. So that is our first release of today. Again, 32 pages that you can read about, but essentially 40 pages of very, very good content. Our next release, our second and final release of today, is Grimm Myth and Legends Quarterly Blood of the Gods. And I literally just finished reading this because I've kind of had a hectic schedule. It is $8.99. As you guys know, every single quarter we release a myth and legend story, which is inspired by a myth or a legend, which I always thought was going to be Joe's favorite storylines, and it was not. I was very surprised, and you can hear that on a past NCW. But without further ado, I'll bring on our lovely, lovely writer, Pat Shand. What's up?
Hello. What's going on?
Do you have a name for my cactus?
Yeah, the cactus is goddamn hydration. Is it
Hydration?
I don't know.
That was promising. Well, I'm gonna keep him on screen. I like him. I only get to do Hydro. Maybe it could be a cool Pokemon name.
Hydro is good. Yeah, Hydro is good. It could be goddamn Cacturn, the Pokemon, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, Pokemon right now. Ash Ketchum, not R.I.P., but kind of R.I.P.
Not R.I.P. More like retirement. You know, he's
that's true. Retirement at the age of 9.
Yeah, I mean it's time. You know, he's had his stay. He's squeezed. I mean, he's been doing this shit since I was like 10 years old. You know, and now I'm still so young. You know, like you look at the other writers of Zenescope. Ralph is a perennial vampire. Of course, he'll remain forever young. But compared to like guys like Raven Gregory, you know, your boy's still a spring chicken. Okay.
Oh my God. I did see Raven in the comments. I wonder if he's still on. And, you know, everybody, I'm sure you guys know, but there is going to be a release with Raven associated in the next coming weeks. It was actually supposed to be this week, but, you know, publishing schedule always gets moved because of stuff that goes on. And also because printing press is still not fully bounced back. And so that's not great right now.
That's the Wonderland holiday issue, right?
Yes.
That's good. What better way to bring in the holiday with Raven Gregory on Wonderland?
Wow. Look at this is a good name. Cactus Claus.
Cactus Claus is good. Cactus Claus is good. What else could it be though? You know, like I feel like the easy, you know, like there's the prickly type names, you know.
Yeah.
There's I feel like Hydra was it though, right?
It could be. You know, usually names really come to me for stuffed animals. So like one time I you guys have seen Pancake. I brought Pancake on before. He's like a giant seal. And when I got Pancake as a gift, I opened Pancake and he was just flat. And I was like, he's flat like a pancake. So names usually come to me, but nothing has come to me on this cactus. And he doesn't have a name, I don't think. No.
Oh, but hold on. He has the maracas.
Yes.
Right? Is that so? And you were doing Feliz Navidad. I would call this guy Prospero.
Prospero.
Yeah.
Prospero.
Yeah. That's Prospero.
There we go. Where is Pancake? John, you know, funny enough, Pancake is in my closet right now. I'm sure I could go get Pancake. If you'd like to see Pancake, I bring Pancake on.
I want to see Pancake personally, yeah.
Do you want to see Pancake? In the meantime, Pat, why don't you talk about your book while I walk away? This is Moomin, who's wearing a cowboy's hat.
Oh my God. What kind of animal is that?
He's a hippo.
Jesus. All right. So today, out from Zenescope Entertainment, publisher who has been around for years and will remain around for years, Myths and Legends presents Blood of the Gods. This is a crossover between Hellchild, Gretel, Calabar. Gretel. I wrote Gretel for the first time earlier this year in Van Helsing Hour of the Witch. So this is my second time writing Gretel, and it's a 72-page. I mean, to me, it's a graphic novel. They're calling it one shot, but it's 72 pages. You know, that to me is a graphic novel.
It is a graphic novel. Oh my God, I'm reading. Aaron, you're right. This is, for people who don't know, so this is Moomin. He knows Moomin Troll. So Moomin is actually a very popular character. He has his own book series. He had his own TV series. In London, there's a Moomin shop where my friends got him for me when I went abroad, but Moomin is a Swedish character. Fun fact. And this is Pancake. So I brought Pancake on the floor, but this is Pancake. Pancake is very large. He's, like I said, he looks flat. He looks like he's flat. But yeah, I take Pancake on some of my trips. Like I take him on flights. I really love Pancake. Pancake's a good part of my household.
Is he a squishmallow?
No, I don't know where he's from. He was a gift when I moved into my condo. So
I like stuffed animals now. You know, I go to Target and I see those squishmallows. They've stepped the game up over the years. You know, if I was a kid, and I would be addicted to those squishmallows. They just feel so good. They're like pillows, but also stuffed animals.
It's true. Jazzwares, which is one of my clients, when I went out to meet them in London, when I was out there for Star Wars stuff that I had to do, they had a whole Squishmallows tent, etc. And it was a giant couch of Squishmallows. And then it was a backdrop, and you could just lay in a pillow of Squishmallows. And I do have a picture with it. But anyway, back to our story, which is I'm sure what people are really here for, or to see my 10,000 stuffed animals. But deep in the jungles of, I'm going to say this wrong, Chiapas. Do we feel optimistic about that? Angelica, oh my God, now I can't even say this. Angelica, Hellchild Blackstone, is trying to find herself the only way she knows how, hunting down the scum of the world who think they are too protested to worry. Finally catching up to a cartel leader she has been tracking, Angelica discovers something much darker than she could have ever imagined is at play, guest starring Gretel, the witch hunter. Don't miss this truly terrifying new story. And so speaking of terrifying, I was talking about The Wizard of Oz, which was scary. This book's really scary.
I'll tell you this. You know, I've written a lot of villains for Zenescope, and generally we'll see the debut of a new villain on the covers. This time, no. So I saw the two main villains at the end. I mean, especially one of them. When I saw her character design, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how scary it was. It reminded me, the art style of just her design reminded me of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the original artist who would do those creepy, like wispy pen and ink. I mean, it's very unusually scary. Yeah.
Fun fact, I try to get him to come to shows. He's very hard to reach out to.
The artist?
Yeah. I used to send him. I think it's Paul something. I have the book, and then the writer, I'm pretty sure, died. But I would always...
of those stories. I
yes.
This art. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, no, of those stories. But yeah, no, I agree. When they unveiled the villains and like what it looked like, or like in the, you know, not to spoil too much, but you see shadow versions of characters in the story. There's a lot of shadow versions of character, which makes it more ominous and more spooky because it like continues the tone. And, you know, like you mentioned before, you had written Gretel in the past, but we get a couple of different storylines here. We get Hellchild's ongoing story, which we're following, and then we get Gretel, and usually we get her like coming into a story, but we also get where she's at in the story, and then they're pulled together, and you find out, you know, why they're connected.
Yeah. It's fun to do. You know, my main title has been Van Helsing for the past about year and a half at Zenescope. So I wrote Hellchild again around this time last year with it was the Grim Spotlight issue, which saw her in the same setting, and now we're keeping that going while also blending that with what Gretel's doing, which was, you know, to me is very interesting. You know, I like touching all these different corners of the Grimm universe and seeing where these stories can overlap.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Again, like I say on every single show, but if you're tuning into us for the first time, know that because Zenescope is privately owned, you know, owned by Joe and Ralph, who are co-founders, we have the opportunity to really immerse and add different characters into different storylines, and then take those storylines into other storylines. And not as many publishers can do that because,
Right.
specific people are only writing specific characters, or there's different IPs that can't clash, etc. But, we do have a very wide range, which makes us, very dangerous as a publisher because other people don't have those opportunities.
It's true. It's also very unique that because it is a privately owned shared universe, when something major happens, it can have ripple effects for years that can, stay permanent in some cases. Like I remember when Ralph and Joe and I figured out that we were going to kill the main character of Grimm Fairy Tales at the end of the first volume at 125. As far as I know, she's still gone. Sky is the lead now, and how many universes can do that? Zenescope started out. Sela was the main character and the staple, the icon of the company for years. When I came on, she was the most recognizable character, and honestly, the balls of Zenescope to keep that kind of a change in place for years that's the perfect example of how this is the kind of universe that doesn't play it safe. Any character can just get it.
That's right. I'd like to know what other characters will get it like in the future. I wonder. We get to see a lot of, not to spoil anything, but we'll go back to Bell 25, which had, momentous height, fantastic, maybe the best Bell I read by Dave, fantastic work.
Yes.
And in it, they kill her best friend. Sorry if you guys haven't read it by now. Like, come on,
wow,
they kill her best friend, and then they obviously bring her back, and there's a decision that Belle has to make, which ultimately leads to Belle losing her mom, which has kind of been an ongoing storyline in Belle. And this is going to sound horrible, but I kind of wish the best friend had stayed dead, because it's just shocking. You're just like, oh my God, I could lose this character. And we'd probably bring her back, because you could bring back everybody in comics eventually, but would have been cool if we kept her dead.
Well, yeah, but also too, we've also done both in our own stories too. When we were leading up to Age of Darkness, there was this one shot. It was Realm Knights Age of Darkness, where we kill essentially every character, staple characters, Van Helsing, Captain Hook, multiple different characters. And that played into Joe's Realm War crossover. And even though those deaths were temporary, they had a certain kind of impact that would be kind of hard to replicate in a shared universe where there's multiple huge film studios and millions of tens of hundreds of millions of dollars tied into it. Zenescope has managed to become successful based on characters that their fate is decided by people who can gather in a room. Ralph, Joe, Dave, and historically Raven, me, and other writers who can all just put their heads together and decide major implications for this universe, which to me makes it fresh, makes it interesting, and makes it dangerous.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm like, wow, on top of New Comic Wednesday, we should have Old Comic Wednesday or Old Comic something, where maybe we dive into more of these storylines, because, unless they get made into a graphic novel, fans really don't know what the changes that happen between characters unless we cite them, or they don't know ongoing stories. And I'm like, maybe that's something I should explore for 2023, is not only talking about new comics, but maybe bringing old comics back into the loop that's not necessarily got graphic novels.
Oh yeah, there are a few great runs that I would love to see in trade. Like looking at my stuff, the two Hellchild series. She's of course in this now. This one shot is basically a graphic novel to me. It's so long, but those two first Hellchild series and Apocalypse, Grimm Fairy Tales Apocalypse. That one is such an integral part of Van Helsing's story. I would love to see that collected so that story could, reach new audiences, because people do wonder when they read the box set. I feel that they wonder what happened to Hades, like where that character is, and how Angelica came back into play, which is answered in Hellchild and Apocalypse. So those ones I would love to see in trade for sure.
Yeah. And obviously, like Gary shouted out, like I know Casey and Noah do ongoing graphic novels and trades, etc. But I'm wondering, I'm like, maybe there's a sync up that we do where we dive into like earlier stories that have kind of been like one shots that have been completely forgotten about that were very, very good stories, but you know, maybe inspired something further along in the Zenescope universe.
Oh yeah, there was one of my first ever one shots was so fun to do. It was the Grim Fairy Tales 2012 annual with the gods. That was my first taste of the gods. So it's cool that all these years later, I'm still writing characters tied to that first taste of the gods. In that one, I wrote Hades, Zeus, and Heather Angelos, which I mean, RIP to the bunch of them, right? And now today, Hellchild, Hades' daughter, still rocking with her.
Oh, I want a quick feature. So we were talking about very, very recently the cover D on Oz that everybody loved, and I just love to shout out the artist who crushed it on the cover D of Oz. I know we're talking about Myth and Legend, Blood of the Gods right now, but cover D on Oz killed it.
Can I see that?
Do you want to pop up those all my covers again, Casey? Look at that cover D.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those are all good. Who did 3? Cover C.
My cover C is by Igor Lomov. I don't want to say anything.
Every single time I see that artist's art, bruh, it's so good. It's so good. Igor is a killer.
Crush. Well, let's talk about the holidays a little bit. So are you doing anything fun for the holidays?
I'm doing anything fun for the holidays.
I assumed that,
I'm going to celebrate the birth of Christ, seize up, you know. I'm going to go to my family's Christmas Eve get together. I'm doing a Christmas dinner myself, exchanging gifts, playing Christmas music. See, here we go. Christmas music. People complain when it goes too early. To me, I can't get enough of it, dude. As soon as the Thanksgiving turkey is done, let that shit ring, okay? I want to hear it all.
Do you have any fun Christmas traditions? Like, are there certain foods that you eat every year on Christmas? Is there things that you always watch?
Yeah, I could go one of two ways as far as food goes. What I like to make myself is I'll either do like a generic Italian dinner, sauce, noodles in the sauce, brajol, meatballs, steak, or my favorite to do. It just like we just did it for Thanksgiving always, but I can't get enough of it. It's just a normal turkey dinner, you know, turkey, stuffing, potatoes. That is, to me, that defines the season. I cannot get enough of the Thanksgiving meal. It is absolutely delicious. No one on planet Earth makes turkey like I make turkey. My turkey drips.
Pat's turkey drips. Look at this kitty.
Yeah, my little boy Hoya. And what was the other question?
Is there any like traditions? Like, do you watch something every year? Is there a game you play?
I mean, I like to do Harry Potter for Christmas. So yeah.
Wow, that's what it is. Well, again, thank you so much, Pat, for joining us. Check out our latest release written by him, and like we mentioned,
but the covers.
Oh, do we never show the covers for? No. Pop up those. I'm going all out of range. Oh yeah. Look at all of these covers crush it. And let's just like quickly highlight in the story, there is like a heart scene where there's lots of hearts and lots of blood. And that's particularly creepy.
That's true. What's your favorite?
For these covers? Yeah. I don't know. I really like all of them. See, I really like when they like use like a color that's such an undertone that it like highlights the back. So I really like the back of cover C a lot.
Yes. Yeah, they are all great. I look at these, and the most narratively compelling to me is A. The overall best looking as far as the style goes is probably C.
That's right. A gives you a lot of what's happening here, which is crucial to the storyline.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Like I said, happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. And I won't say Happy New Year yet because we'll all be together next Wednesday. But I won't be with you, Pat. So thank you for joining.
Well, I won't be here, right? So Happy New Year to you. Merry Christmas.
See you in 2023.
Yes, indeed.
Bye.
Bye.
So again, we're talking about 2 releases. We just dove in a little bit into our second release, which we featured our writer Pat Shandon, which was Myth and Legends, Blood of the Gods. Does anybody notice that we like to put blood in a lot of things? Maybe that's just me. I'd be kind of interested to see how many covers start with blood. Our second release, which is our first release that we talked about earlier, which is Oz, Return of the Wicked Witch #2. Like I mentioned, you need to read #1. Both very dark stories this week. Very spooky, very creepy. That's my vibe for Christmas, besides also my cactus vibe. But besides that, in the comments, I would always love to see, read, what are your favorite holiday traditions? Are there movies you watch every year? We've talked about this other week. Are there foods you eat? I was actually just telling my friend Jeff last night that something we always did was we did the dishes of Christmas, which is a Polish tradition where we would eat the same foods every year. And as a child, it was really difficult eating prune pierogies, but I made it through. And then we have our own Mexican traditions on my mom's side where we always eat tamales and ceviche, and we make chocolate abuelita. So I'd love to know any of your traditions that you have for the holiday season, whether I say, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is, or your New Year's traditions that you look forward to. Again, so in a couple of just minutes, really in like an hour, you'll have your second day of the VCon, your final day to purchase all of the rare collectibles that you guys have been looking for. I know there's a lot of very, very good goodies. It's from 1 to 4. There's always, fun stuff going on, highlights, and, you'll have the fun crew and attendance that you guys want to check out. So make sure you tune back in an hour to join everybody on the VCon. Can you believe this is the second to last NCW of the year, which means there's only a few more opportunities to get the NCW collectible cover of the year. And this week's winner is, Casey's popping up. I always like to wait till she gets the pop up. Congratulations, as they always call him, the Mushroom Man, John. Congratulations on winning our NCW collectible cover. Yay, confetti, but also kind of snow confetti. There's no snow in Florida, although I will tell you that it's going to be very cold in Florida. It is 72 right now, which is fantastic. On Saturday, it will be 50. I'm not thrilled, not happy at all. But that was this week's winner. Congratulations, only 2 more opportunities to win. This week's stipulation, which is join us again in an hour for the VCon. Everybody who joins, comments, orders something, etc. There you go. You'll be entered to win the final NCWs of the year. We're at the end. It's that, I believe, that Alice in Wonderland cover. The end that we finally hit. Other important stuff. Next week, it looks like we only have 1 release, which is Grimm Fairy Tales number 67. So I don't know if I'll have a guest on because I don't want to make Dave come on the last Wednesday of the year. It might just be me signing off, maybe talking a little bit about what our favorite releases were of 2023. I'm already looking to next year, 2022, etc. So it's 38 degrees there. This is not for me. I'm not for this life at all. So other opportunities, if you can't catch us today, no, you can. If you're here, you can go on the VCon in an hour. Make sure that you see the crew. Maybe I would pop on, but I really don't want to because, as we know, the Cowboys lost this past weekend. And on Saturday, there's a very big game that's happening. There's a very big game between the Cowboys and the Eagles. And I'll be honest, if the Cowboys lose, it's okay, but only if we win in the playoffs. And that's the only way it's okay, but I'm not feeling optimistic about that. So stay tuned, everybody. Oh my God, it's 28 degrees there. Wow. I feel bad for all of you guys. I'm not ready for any of that. So I don't think I can hop on because I don't think I can handle Jason. He did talk a little smack to me on Sunday, and I was like, I can't take it. Hopefully the Cowboys will show up in a big way in the playoffs, but I'm not feeling optimistic. Your last chance to catch us of the year for our lovely movie club is in our Gremlins, which is coming up very, very soon. You don't want to miss that. So make sure that you check out Gremlins, our movie club. Yep, happening in tomorrow. And then, not tomorrow. Oh, it says Tuesday, December 22nd. I'm going to say it's Thursday, December 22nd on the graphic. Whoops. But also Coffee with Casey and Noah, as you know. But it won't be, are you guys in the office on Monday? No. So is it going to be Tuesday? Tuesday. Yep. So Tuesday, and that'll be the last Coffee and Casey of the year. Last Coffee and Casey of the year is Tuesday. The last NCW of the year is Wednesday. So make sure you check out all of these before you go to the holidays. And what people waking, I love reading everybody's weather. Woke up with snow this morning, crazy. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's the end of the year. We're heading. Oh, last thing. If you're a VIP and you have not signed up for NOLA, please go do that. Please go do that. Come hang out with the crew, cast, all the artists that you love. Please hang out. Yes, I love happy holidays, everybody. I love all you guys. Yes, make sure you go to the website and buy tickets right now. But yeah, here we go. That's kind of all I have. Oh, I think today might be the last day of the 12 days of Christmas too. So check your emails. I did see an email about that. But this is Amber, where we're going to sign off. I hope everybody has a lovely holiday. You get all the stuff that you want. And I hope the Cowboys beat the Eagles. And that's all we really care about. And I'll be very sad if they don't on Christmas Eve. And that's all I got to say. And now we're going to sign off. Goodbye,